Hey everyone, welcome to a special edition of News from the Sage Scholars Newsroom. My name is Nicole, I'm your host, and we wanted to talk today about one of the initiatives which is going on and has been happening over the summer at Sage. So I know that college is starting and reopening now, but that doesn't mean that Sage Scholars has not been hard at work. And I'm joined by Kaley, who is one of the head team members who's been working on the newsroom. Kaley, can you tell us a little bit about the Sage Scholars Newsroom and kind of what you guys have been working on the last few months to really build it up?
Yeah, so the Sage Scholars Newsroom is an exciting project that we've taken on this summer. Part of what it aims to do is add to the services that we offer our Sage Scholars families and also extending beyond the Sage Scholars families as well. And the newsroom is essentially a collection of articles from a team of contributors that we've gathered from across the country. These people are admissions officers, PhDs, current students, high school and college. And everyone is coming together to help Sage Scholars students and other students learn to navigate a college education and also a high school education. So what we're aiming to do is kind of demystify the education process, and hopefully with these advice columns and different articles that share perspectives on various important topics in higher ed right now, we're hoping that we can create a pathway for our Sage Scholars students to better navigate the institutional process and learn how to move through college.
Kaley, that's really exciting. And, I know one of the things that you and the team have been working on is differentiating what the Sage Scholars Newsroom is versus what maybe other places people might go online to get information about college. Can you touch a little bit on that and maybe some of the subject matters or what some of the contributors have brought to the table to make this really a unique place to get information?
Yeah, so I believe one thing that differentiates us is just the vastness of perspective that our contributors have. Like I said, we are bringing together people from inside the admissions process, PhD holders, and people who have worked in higher ed for a number of years. We have a group of current teachers, we have students, college and high school. And I just think that perspective and the ways that we're bringing these folks together can speak to a myriad of issues from different lenses. And I think those lenses are really important. It's not something that I've seen other similar platforms doing. And I think because of that, it really sets us apart. We also really like to focus in on private education. And though our contributors come from schools that aren't private colleges, everyone is really committed to understanding how private college is functioning and how not only private college itself is a benefit in a lot of ways, but how that smaller class size and understanding the ways that the community is formed in these smaller colleges can actually help students move through their education and really maximize their college investment.
I think that's really cool what you guys are doing. And Kaley, I know that yourself, you're both a traditionally sort of published author and that you've published at least one paper that I know of, as well as also being an online writer yourself. Can you talk a little bit about kind of the opportunity that might present itself with somebody who might be watching this and thinking about contributing to the Sage Scholars Newsroom or learning more about contributing to the Sage Scholars Newsroom?
Yeah, so something really important about how we run our newsroom is that we like to provide our contributors and authors with as much agency as they want. So if you're someone who wants to write on mental health, we have a space for you. If you're someone who wants to talk about financing your education, we also have a space for that, and pretty much everything in between. So we welcome a diversity of thought, a diversity of opinion, and a diversity of experience. And because of that, our contributors have a tremendous amount of creative agency. And, because they can speak to different perspectives, we look for that too. If you're someone who wouldn't traditionally pick up a pen and paper and don't necessarily think that your career prepares you to be able to publish, we want to kind of debunk that myth. So what we're really seeking to do here is, if you're not necessarily comfortable or you don't see yourself as a writer, but you have a perspective that's valued in higher ed and even high school education, reach out to us. We would love to work with you. And I think one thing that we do really well is, help writers in the process. We don't just take your article and publish it. We really we try to build a sustainable relationship with you where we can move back and forth and help you through the editing process and make you a better writer. So we're looking for perspective, and then we're going to help you put the pieces together in a way that can produce publishable work that is the quality that we seek for the newsroom.
That's so great. And Kaley, the best places to see this obviously are on the website. It sounds like also that people could subscribe to the Market Cap and Gown newsletter, which is put out by Sage on a regular basis, and be getting the articles. And are those those are the two best places for people to read those articles, right?
Yeah, and if you follow us on social media, you'll see we're going to start a campaign, and I think that will help people kind of navigate the newsroom. We're constantly publishing new articles, so just make sure you're checking back frequently on all of our social media platforms and also our main newsroom webpage. And wherever else you can get your information about Sage Scholars, you'll find a link to the newsroom.
Awesome. And I have one kind of random question, which is, what are a couple of the articles that have come out of the newsroom that either you were excited about or even surprised by, to kind of let people know the kind of thing they can expect to see?
Yeah, so we have one that really caught my attention recently was the best house plans for your dorm room. And
Brilliant.
it's just something you don't think a lot about, but I know planting and gardening is all the rage among college kids right now. So that was really interesting to read. And then we also had one recently, just something as simple as how to email your professor. There's a lot of conventions that students aren't necessarily familiar with, but if you want to communicate well with your professor, there's definitely things that you should be doing in emails. So it just kind of shows you the vastness of the kind of content that we produce here in the newsroom. Everything from plants to emails.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Kaley, for your time today. And to everybody watching, you can go check out the Sage Scholars Newsroom. It's linked in the description of where you're watching this video, as well as going to tuitionrewards.com and just clicking Newsroom in the menu. That's another way to get to it. Thanks so much.